Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear, hear? Me, red, green, yellow, blue, for the many, not the few. Strong and stable on the table, she relents, he's on the fence. Tweet it, text it, no deletes it. Second decider, Boris the Spider, giving it large. Cummins Farage, DUP, ERG, IRA, join the fray. Divided nation, demonstration, confrontation, provocation, ever contending. Dollar consenting, pound descending, public spending, slump impending, Trump defending, condescending, Trump defending, Queen attending, deal pending, bluff depending, border defending, union rending, ISIS blending, never ending, gammon, snowflake, tragic fear. I'm fucking out of here. Muslim, Christian, infidel, communist, fascist, heaven, hell, hello, 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 hello. Can you hear, me, Bags of rubbish, blocked doorways. Naked dummies, mock displays, boutiques in administration prior to permanent termination. Vacant signs stuck on doors of banks and chain department stores. Metal shutters coming down on every other shop in town. In amongst the rubbish bags, retired workers dressed in rags. Unwanted adolescents, 0 hours contract dependents. Manic souls in numbers countless, jobless, hopeless, houseless, helpless. Downtrodden, disrespected. Used, abused, burnt out, rejected. Spectres in a ghostly play, many from a bygone day occasionally catch the eye of other people passing by. Some stay silent, others talk, most but very rarely walk beyond the confines of the spot where day and night they spend their lot. I passed them as I walked along, reminded of an 80s song, one indignantly composed that told of nightclubs being closed. Walking home, empty-handed, haunted thoughts expanded. Led me to a different time before smartphones and Amazon Prime. And finally, a lamentation, a tribute, a dedication to traders on the high street in empty stores that can't compete. This town is a wilting flower. Weatherspoons, Paddy Power, Addy and Lidl are doing fine. Everything else is in decline. This town is one of recession, debt, redundancy, depression, future prospects in a mess. Homeless damsels in distress, empty husbands, empty wives, empty pockets, empty lives, food banks running out of food, DWP staff being rude. This town is a dying show, a sale where everything must go, selling costing less to still with no one paid to work the till, online trading on the cheap, shops forever put to sleep, metal shutters staying down. This town is coming like a ghost town. That was called Ghost Town Part 2. Ghost Town originally was written by the Specials, and obviously that was written with food banks in mind, which is what Mary Ann's made this night tonight. It's all about that, food banks. And the next one is about a homeless bloke called Jimmy Daly. Jimmy Daly was a baby in need of love, kindness and parental care. His dad was a squirt of abandoned seed. His mum was an addict who wasn't there when Jimmy was found outside a drug den by social workers backed up by police and driven away at the age of 10 as she OD'd and found permanent peace. Hers was a story not properly heard, a statistic, a problem left too late to prevent the fate of a boy referred to a children's home funded by the state. Foster carers saying he was too much and in need of more than a loving touch. Jimmy Daly was a runaway teen. Home was a future panorama, a tale of abusers, ignored, unseen, a national scandal, a TV drama. He was barely 14 in 93, and he was sleeping in a shop doorway, hiding from the eyes of authority, stealing after dark and begging by day, till he was picked up and brought back again by the local police time after time to an institution of fear and pain, a cycle of abuse and petty crime, leading to where? It isn't hard to guess. Prison cells, addiction and homelessness. Jimmy Daly was a desperate man. And his desperation grew all the more when the local council enforced a ban and he had to steal what he once begged for. Who would give a job to a man like that? An alcoholic without an address, a thief, a junkie, a beggar, a rat, a welfare scrounger, a permanent mess, a man who you wouldn't look in the eye, let alone talk to or have as a friend, a scumbag whose every word is a lie. In short, he was labelled, and the labels prevented people seeing an individual human being. A homeless man, froze to death in his sleep. I read the story, took note of his name, thought about the things that people reap when others sow seeds in life's cruel game of winner takes all or luck of the draw. Harshness and indifference came to mind. It appeared to me that his lot was poor and subject to things unjust and unkind, a consequence of an addict's bad choice. Who with a conscience can honestly say, without doubt or irony in their voice, that life is what you make it, come what may? Jimmy Daly couldn't make it a plan. His life was finished before it began. Thank you. That's some depressing stuff out of the way. This next one's about teenage cults going from teddy boys through to rave culture. And after that, I don't know what happened. Is there anything after rave culture? I mean, maybe I'm getting fucking old, you know what I mean? But in any case, I've called it The Last of the Mohicans. Walking through the churchyard, I saw him there, an original man beyond compare, an ancient eccentric with a mohawk, a pensioner punk who wanted to talk. He asked me if I cared to share a few roll-ups and cans of lukewarm special brew and listen to a serious matter. So I sat with him and heard his patter. He said he was a 10 in 56 when Rock Around the Clock was at the flicks. He had a flick knife. And during the show, he slashed the seats at the Trocadero. In the early 60s, he was a mod, a pill potter, immaculately shod on a Lambretta going up and down, fighting with rockers in a seaside town. In the late 60s, he found a guru and he went to a commune in Kathmandu. But it was run by a fake millionaire. So he came back home and shaved off his hair and in the process became a skinhead, moon-stomping with rude boys Jamaican bread. Skins in the 60s, he said, were cool cats and only very rarely racist twats. He was a star man in 72 when Bowie finally made his breakthrough. But when the dark side of the moon appeared, his taste in music went deeper and weird. He grew his hair longer, became a freak, saw Awkward and Genesis reach their peak. Back in the day when they were worth seeing, before the Pistols came into being. The filth, the fury, Mary seeing red or dead. He adopted a chain from ear to nose, and the declaration, anything goes. He was a punk till around 84 when the old romantics became a bore. And for want of something better to do, he found consolation in sniffing glue. In 87 he rapped with a mate before acid tricked him into a state of ecstasy, with new drugs to consume as DJs scratched and pumped up the volume. And in that smiley state, he changed his name, Chingachgook, the chief of Mohican fame. He'd reached a peak, and he had it in mind that he was unique, the last of his kind. Britpop was hardly a sensation. He felt it to be an imitation, an ending bell to the finality and demise of originality. The scene petered out like a dying flame. 20 years went by and no eras came, with nothing but more of the same in sight. He aimlessly drifted without a light, up shit creek with no paddle or canoe, drowning to the sound of Radio 2, trapped for an age in a digitised grave of hip-hop, house, metal, mod, punk and rave. And that was it. He had no more to say. Silently he sat as I walked away, leaving him staring blankly into space. Or maybe some other faraway place, where out of the blue comes a sea of change that's against the grain and feels a bit strange, unconventional, untraditional, alternative, cool and original. Chingachgook, the unique, the peerless one, looked tired and jaded by the time he was done, and all his anecdotes are written here, complete with glue, acid, roll-ups and strong beer, and the thoughts of a man long in the tooth, offering an observational truth. DJs and bands are playing nothing new. A watershed movement's long overdue. Thank you. This one is it's a love song. Well, it's not really a fucking song. It's every time I've rehearsed it, for some reason my voice gone off on the tune, you know. But it's really a poem, right? And it's a love poem, and it's dedicated to my lovely wife Linda, and I've called it Yes. Okay, so I hope I don't go off into a tune when I'm singing it, but whatever, you know. My wife said to me somewhat anxiously, "I'm very much in love with you today, and I want a word with you. Tell me, do you love me too?" So I answered in a reassuring way. "Does honey come from bees? The squirrels climb up trees. The turtles nest and lay eggs on the beach. Are the Rolling Stones a band? Does the universe expand? Did George VI have problems with his speech? Does Hamilton race cars? Did Churchill smoke cigars? Are quarks the smallest objects known to science? Did Lawrence ride a camel? Is a killer whale a mammal? Was Gandhi jailed for passive non-compliance? Are rhinoceroses rare? Is Bill Gates a billionaire? Was Pennywise a demon in disguise? Was Biggie Smalls a rapper? Is a WC a crapper? Do flies eat shit? Have spiders got 8 eyes? Was Al Capone a mobster? Did Bardali paint a lobster? Was Grayson Preddy sometimes wear a dress? Was George Eliot female? Did Sir Francis Drake set sail? Are there strawberries and meringues in Eton Mess? Have banks done dodgy deals? The polar bears eat seals? The British trains get cancelled due to snow? Did Caligula lose the plot? Does a Bentley cost a lot? Was Trotsky taken out in Mexico? Are battery hens abused? Was Victoria unamused? Did Sally Gunnell win Olympic gold? Are the ice caps in decline? Does a grape grow on a vine? Are the pyramids of Giza very old? The fruit trees flower in spring? Could Pavarotti sing? Did David Bailey take a photograph? Are the seas and rivers wet? Does Las Vegas take a bet? Did Gandalf face the Balrog with his staff? Was Philip born in Greece? Did Teresa cut the police? Did Cameron shag a pig's head in a pub? Does Tiger Woods play golf? Should kids keep away from Rolf? Did Mufasa die when Simba was a cub? Is the Pope a Catholic? Is titanium metallic? Was Kasparov much good at playing chess? Would you like £1 million? Is calamari squid? Do I love you, darling? Absolutely, yes. Right, it's the last one, and it came about when I went to the doctor's surgery, and I was only after some antibiotics, but there was this fucking great queue, man, and like, I just thought, imagine this queue stretching all the way out beyond the bounds of Colchester. And it wasn't just for the GP in Colchester, it was like the fucking last GP in town, you know what I mean? And I thought, and it went on from there, it was the last GP in the country, and the fucking queue went like from Land's End, John, every fucking where. Anyway, I called it Q. I've fucking rehearsed this loads of times, you know what I mean? But we'll see how it goes. Outside the surgery of the last GP in town, people with sleeping bags were sitting on the ground, eating bacon sandwiches, drinking mugs of tea. One grabbed me by the entrance and screamed impatiently, "Get to the back of the queue! We've been here all night! Get to the back of the queue, you mug, unless you want to fight! Who the hell do you think you are? Are you taking the piss? Get to the back of the queue, you! I'm having none of this!" His ranting and his raving was more than I could bear, and it was supported by a dozen others there, so I turned and walked away. There was nothing I could do but wait and stand in line at the back of the end of the queue. Daylight turned to dusk. Dusk turned into night. The queue stretched ever onwards without an end in sight. I sat down on the pavement, collapsing in a heap, and an old lady said to me as I fell asleep, "Get to the back of the queue. Come on, you're sitting on my spot. Get to the back of the queue, young man. I'm desperate and you're not. I need a new prescription. I'm older than you by far. Get to the back of the queue, you. Who do you think you are?" I walked all through the night and all the next morning too, and in the afternoon there was still no end in view. I hopped onto a bus for a 20-minute ride. got off at the station and joined the queue outside. I bought a railway ticket and from London caught a train all the way down to Land's End and then back up again to John O'Groats in Scotland. But the queue still never ending through villages, towns and cities. It's lengthening, extended. I caught a train back to Essex where I jostled past angry people in the garden, camping on the grass. And as I turned the key in the lock of my front door, I was deafened by the sound of an eardrum splitting roar. Get to the back of the queue, pal. Stop trying to push in front. Get to the back of the queue, son, you selfish Jeremy Hunt. I'm sick of people pushing in. It ought to be a crime. Get to the back of the queue, you. I've told you one last time. After I explained to him that this is where I live and I'd seriously run out of flying fucks to give, I made a reluctant phone call and in desperation took out a second mortgage for a private consultation at the people still outside. Thinking about what cuts to public services implied, I started feeling guilty for taking a private route and robbing the NHS of a valuable recruit. I picked up the phone again with guilt still in my head, cancelled the consultation, got undressed, went to bed and fell asleep and dreamed of wandering up and down a never-ending queue to see the last GP in town. And if there's a conclusion, I don't know what it is, but leaving open-ended would be very much realist. So by way of a denouement is my advice to you. If you want to see your last GP, join the fucking queue. Well, Mary's just requested more. I feel a little bit religious, you know. So I'm gonna end this with a prayer. I'm gonna end tonight's thing with a prayer, right? And I'm gonna call it the Trump's prayer, right? Our Master, which art in the White House, Donald be thy name. Our kingdom come. Thy deals be done in Chequers as they are in the White House. Purchase this day our NHS and sell us insurances against any illnesses that come against us, and we will gladly grovel to your nation upon deliverance from Europe. For ours is thy kingdom, Republican Tory, forever and ever, American. Thank you.